These fools, they'll never learn.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You are our audience, and we are Food for Thought Podcast. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Food for Thought Podcast. This is your Valentine's Day special, baby. Yeah, that was, I just came up with that.
I'll be your long-lived lover from Liverpool.
I don't know the next lyric.
I've never heard that song in my life.
I don't know who it's by. I keep thinking it's by Donny Osmond, but it's definitely not Donny Osmond. Why would he be singing about Liverpool? Why am I... You threw me off.
I did. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. This is Food for Thought Podcast. If you're not familiar with us, we are a martial arts cinema podcast. Every 2 weeks, we review a martial arts film, but we're switching it up this week. This week, a few days ago, it was Valentine's Day, so I decided we should go for something a little bit more romantic. So no fight scenes this week. We are doing 2000s, the year 2000s, In the Mood for Love, the quintessential Hong Kong classic, In the Mood for Love. But before we get into the film proper, what have you been up to, you pair of tits?
Yeah. I was about to say, speaking of pair, Kevin, what did you do earlier today?
Oh yeah, good one.
Earlier this morning, I got my first mammogram. I got my first boob smash. Highly recommend.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Yeah,
she got her first mammogram. Everything went smoothly.
So just gotta wait for my results.
If you want to hear more about Damon's mammogram, then listen to our Food for Thought Uncut, which is on our Patreon. By the way, we have a Patreon, www.patreon.com/Food for Thought. If you'd like to give us a few pennies every month, you can listen to our Food for Thought Uncut episodes. And we got all manner of other stuff. We're going to be doing our another commentary track soon. I haven't decided on the film yet, but we are going to be doing one very, very soon.
Okay.
And I'm also going to start doing a few reviews on there. Cyrus, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Wonderful.
Great.
How are you?
I'm pretty good, actually. I'm feeling a bit full. We've had a lot of meat.
What kind of meat? What kind of food was proffered?
It was. Do you know what? Moroccan.
Me, my American mother, and my Moroccan father.
Yeah.
We grew up having Moroccan food at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Where are you from? Israel?
I'm Israeli.
Iranian. It was Iranian.
Oh, that's what it's.
That's right. Yeah. I almost had a joke.
Come on.
You can do it. You can do it.
Hold on.
It better not have something to do with Iran to Iran.
Let's move on.
That's exhausted.
I was going to say that you put out the food and I ran to the table.
There it is.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Got it.
It will give you the tireds.
Excuse me?
It will give you the tireds.
Oh yeah, I'm full of meats. I'm full of rice. But still, I'm chipper. I've got energy. I'm feeling good. Cyrus is drinking a triple shot energy Starbucks French coffee.
That's right.
You haven't had a coffee. We're all up. I'm feeling great.
That's right.
And sorry to interrupt.
Don't do it again. I'll fucking beat the shit out of you. Oh, you're not meant to swear in the first 5 minutes of YouTube.
All of our, I don't know. I'd say personal lives, work lives seem to be up right now.
They're going pretty well.
We have a link
making some improvement.
Yeah, I think we can openly
changes.
talk about
have
it.
Some good things coming.
Myself and Cyrus, just the other day, we received. I think we can say a sizable pay increase in work. Pretty nice pay increase, and that was a bit of a surprise to us both. And we're on the up and up. Cyrus not only got a pay increase,
promotion,
got a bit of a promotion as well. I guess I can officially say I promoted Cyrus because I'm his manager.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah. I gave Cyrus the shirt off his back. No, on his back.
On his
so he got a nice promotion, deservedly so. He's an excellent worker, and he does a great job of massaging all those clients. And things are looking good for us. Things are looking up.
Where do we work, by the way? If I'm massaging clients,
at a masseuse.
At a masseuse.
Yeah, at a masseuse's place. Yeah, it's called Massage in a Bottle.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
That wasn't fucking bad. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Message in a Bottle, the song. Massage in a Bottle.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm working with Philistines. Is it Philistines or Philistines?
That joke gave me a sting. Is that Sting sings that song?
Yeah.
Message in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
that was a terrible joke.
It was very good. Just remember that.
Devon's looking for other employment.
Indeed, I am.
Yeah, she's actively searching for a new job. So if anyone out there wants to offer her $100,000 a year job, she'll take it, no matter what.
Doesn't matter what it is, as long as that's the pay, I
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah. And don't come to me and say, start an OnlyFans. We did that months ago.
Yeah.
Cyrus, have you watched anything?
Yes.
Cool. Why don't you tell us about it?
I watched The Flash, which I had absolutely no expectations for. Wasn't looking forward to it. Just a scroll, and I went, I got time.
Okay.
Fan. Good stuff.
Yeah, I liked The Flash more than most people. Most people thought it was trash, but I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good.
I was happy with Michael Keaton. Yeah, I mean he's my classic Batman. I wish they would have done more with Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl was fresh. She was really cool.
Yeah, I like the look of her.
She's not coming back though. She's already said the actress is like they're not welcoming back
Okay.
because that other girl's been just as shit. I can't speak. That girl from House of Dragons has been cast as Supergirl.
Okay. But yeah, but I
Millie
would have
Alcock.
liked to have seen more of her. Seen her do more things in that
Yeah,
movie.
she was great.
But yeah. But anyway,
we watched a few things.
we were watching a couple of stuff.
I got a few things in my notes. Here we go.
Hit it.
We watched a very, very, very good film that I believe Devon gave 5 stars and I gave 5 stars. It's on Netflix at the moment. It's a film called Society of the Snow.
Oh, was trying to remember what the hell you were talking
I
about.
told you about that shit.
Oh my god.
You watched the whole thing? You like it?
I had seen
I loved it.
I'd seen the American version, the I don't even remember the year.
Alive?
Yeah, I've seen Alive before, so I knew what the story was. This movie is, yeah, a lot. I think it has a lot more detail than in Alive, but yeah, Sight of Snow, holy Jesus.
Apparently we
Such a
loved
great
it more
film.
than most though.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one.
No, a lot of people thought it was like a middling film.
Really?
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree,
you
I
guys
agree with the
are-
other people.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So it's a real story.
Yep.
With the input of the real people that
Mhm.
are still alive.
Mhm.
And as I was watching it, I didn't really know that.
Hmm.
I went, some of this stuff seems a little too good to be true. There's barely any arguing. There's some pretty crazy things about what they do with people who are no longer with them.
I'm sure we all know the story, but sure.
Really, it
I
almost
don't
seemed
know
too
if anyone.
perfect.
I don't.
In a weird way.
How? There's nothing perfect.
Well,
about
there's
it.
no one fights, not a single scuffle.
One guy doesn't agree with the rest of the. We should. Okay, this is a spoiler. If you don't mind it being spoiled, but I think a lot of people know the story. There's a snow. Good one, Sean. There's a plane crash in the middle of the snowy.
Chile on the way
I
to
think, like,
Chile.
or, yeah,
Way
in
to
the Andes mountain. I forget the year that it was like in the 70s, right?
Uruguay? Are they Uruguayan or
They're
something?
Uruguay. Yeah, they're from
Anyway.
Uruguay. And anyway, yeah, and the plane
Spoiler
crashes
alert,
in the
They
Andes.
eat the dead bodies.
Correct.
To survive, they eat the dead bodies.
Raw,
And
just
they're,
turkey
yeah,
jerky.
Yeah.
it's snow. They're dealing with the elements, and it's, in my opinion, it's very harrowing. The fact
it's
that there were no
nightmare.
arguments, I mean, there was definitely conflict. There were people who, who didn't think it was right to eat people. But the fact that there wasn't, if you're expecting like constant fighting, I mean, look, that didn't bother me, because also I was like, look at the situation that they're in. They all need each other. They all are depending on each other to stay alive. And so I think that
Jeez.
the lack of, what did you say?
Nothing. I said Bee Gees.
They were all
Oh.
just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But
Ridley
So-
Scott is directing a Bee Gees biopic, by the way.
so it didn't bother me that there weren't more fights or more conflicts. I feel like the situation that they were in was pretty fucking dire.
Most people
and
did disagree with us, though. Most people did find it average.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I
You're crazy.
I'm going to go on to another film that I watched that a lot of people said was average that I fucking loved as well. Devin didn't watch this one. It's either Mosul or Mosul. It's Mosul. And it's a military film set in the... I'm going to get it wrong, so I'm just going to say Middle East because I'm not sure where it is in the Middle East. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten. And it's basically about like the worst city during... what am I trying to say? The most war-torn city in this particular area, and it's about this team of cops, this SWAT team that basically protect this entire area and kill ISIS members. And it's a phenomenal film. I loved every minute of it, but a lot of people said that's average as well. But I love military action films. I love them. They're some of my favorite. Anyway, we also watched the new Sydney Sweeney Glenn Powell romantic comedy,
Oh yeah,
Anyone But You, or
it was
anything.
fun.
Anyone But You.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's not gonna blow your socks
Yeah,
off.
no, it's predictable story, but
Good
there was
chemistry
some
they had.
and there were some genuinely funny moments.
There are. Anyway, let's jump into the film.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Trying to keep these episodes shorter than usual, so we're trying to keep things condensed. Although I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this film.
Yeah, you were taking like tons and tons of notes.
I was.
It didn't take a single
was.
note.
So we're talking about In the Mood for Love, directed by Wong Kar Wai, starring Tony Leung and Maggie Cheung. I've got a few little tidbits for you. The original Chinese title is actually The Age of Blossoms, which is kind of interesting. It won Best Actor, Actress, Director, and Cinematography at the Hong Kong Film Awards. It was beaten for Best Director and Best Film by a little-known film called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. If you've seen the film, you may be interested that Maggie Cheung wears a different dress in every single scene. There were 46 dresses made for her in total, although she does not wear all 46. Also, I found this very, very interesting. Maggie Cheung's hair and makeup for the film took 5 hours every single day.
Yeah, I
To
read that.
compare that to something, it took Colin Farrell 4 hours to become the Penguin. So
Dang.
she spent longer time becoming this role than Colin
Why?
Farrell.
I don't get it.
She looks fucking beautiful in this
Well,
film.
yeah, but still, why does that
It
take
looks-
5 hours?
I'm getting hair vibes because
Yeah,
that's the only thing that looks different, really.
Ranked number 2 in BBC's 100 greatest films of the 21st century.
Shit.
So people like this film.
Wow.
And I've got a few more other things to talk about a little bit later. So let's go ahead and dive into opinions. I think it's very interesting to say that I watched this film and I had no clue what these two would think coming out the film. No clue whatsoever. I will say this, it's in my top 4 on Letterboxd. It is in my possibly top 3 favorite films of all time. Maybe even my second favorite film ever made. I fucking adore this film in every way, shape, or form. I think it's absolute perfection in every single way. I adore it. It's wonderful. I'm about to get let down by these two.
Cyrus.
Go.
No.
Go.
No.
Go.
Really, did you honestly think it was bad? Did either of you think it was bad?
Go. This is my house.
I'll fucking cancel
Fine.
the
All
podcast.
right, it's your house, so fine. No, I did not think it was bad.
Okay.
Did I enjoy it as much as you?
Well, no,
No.
I didn't think you would.
I thought it was I don't want to say the word okay. I know you hate when I say okay.
You should use your words.
I know. I'm trying to think of the right.
By the way, the fact
word.
that you even thought of saying okay about this film is mental.
I mean, but I also think it's in it's how I perceive movies. The movies that I love that I think are great that I give like really high marks to, or if in all aspects of it to me they are perfect, or I give something a high rating, or I say if it's something that I can watch over and over again. Like for instance, Tremors. I give Tremors a high rating because I love it and I can watch it over and over again.
Is this film better than Tremors or not?
No.
Okay.
Is it good? I think it's pretty good. I have some questions. I feel, yeah, well, I think it promotes lots of questions.
I'm very ready to get into questions. I'm excited about the questions you have.
But I think it's a good overall, all around good film. But yeah, but I didn't love it as much as much as you did.
Oh,
Like I
no.
probably would. I would never watch this again.
That's okay. All right. Don't lash out, Sean.
This is Sean.
Remain calm.
Listen, I want to hear your honest opinion, but if it doesn't agree with mine, I hate you, and I'll be very angry.
Pretty much. No, that's not true, actually. So, for someone to say this film's good, like Devin just said, it's a good film, I'm perfectly fine with that. The fact that she says, I don't like it as much as you, or I wouldn't watch this again, doesn't bother me too much, because it's fine. If she says it's good, and she doesn't love this film as much as I do, I'm willing to bet that most people don't like this film as much as I do. It speaks to a very specific part of me, and I think I just rate it very, very
Yeah,
highly.
everything about it is definitely like in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Of things that you like and
Yeah.
of types of films, type of aspects of films that you like and enjoy. So it 100% doesn't surprise me that you love it because
Yeah.
this movie is all about you and the things that you like.
I appreciate that you say that.
Yeah.
I do.
Did you watch this movie at a time where it probably hit you harder than hit you in a different way?
I can tell you that I watched this film many, many years ago when it first came out, and I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I may have even turned it off.
Mm.
And then I watched it years later when I was, I guess, more mature or maybe had gone through more things. I don't know. I'm not saying that you have to go through things to understand this film, but I loved it.
You were able to come at it from a different
Yeah, and I think I did.
space.
I do that with a lot of films, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just spoke to me and still speaks to me. This film, I think. No, not to get into too much, but I think there's so fucking much going on in this film. It's unbelievable. I think there is a wealth to explore, and I think the more times you watch it, the more you get from it. In fact, I have a question about the film this time around that I've never had before.
Mm.
Which I'll ask in a minute, as soon as you give me your opinion, baby boy.
You ain't gonna like it.
So you really like? Well, go on.
No,
Just
actually, I need some help. Give me a question.
no. Well, my question is, I guess I'm going to use a strong word. Did you hate it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you dislike it?
No.
Okay. So you thought it was okay, average.
I thought it was pretty unique.
I'll
A
take
couple of
that. I'll
things
take that.
that they did were very cool, actually.
Okay.
Besides the obvious, will they, won't they? Can I just kind of spoilers?
Of course you can.
I mean,
if you
if-
haven't seen In the Mood for Love, go and watch it.
But I feel like if anyone is watching this movie or watching this podcast, then they have to accept the fact that we're going to talk about this movie and explain things. So I think we don't need to do like a disclaimer.
I think we've had enough of these where we can just kind of
Yeah,
they get it.
I think
Yeah, go on.
I think it's obvious.
Where you going?
I've never seen a will they, won't they turn into a 100% they won't like this in my entire life.
Okay.
It's like two kids flirting at fucking summer camp forever. And it just doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
But it does. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting question, though, or an interesting statement.
Oh, they're making sex with each other's minds all day.
Okay. I have a question off the back of that, which I'll ask again in a minute.
And the other thing I thought that was very cool, now that I'm watching more movies and I'm older,
Yeah.
is how things are shot. And this motherfucker he's doing shit I've never seen before.
Yeah.
It's maybe one of the most exquisitely shot films ever made.
Yeah.
The way he goes from one scene to another scene, almost identical. It's a quick shot into another scene. The only thing that's telling you it's different is that the action is performed again and her dress might be different.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
He also does something where he leaves a question in the scene before, then answers it in the next scene without anyone saying anything. And I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah.
But there's one scene, there's like a question where it's just like, did they, didn't they, or something like that. And the next scene, something happens, and you're just like, okay, that answers the question I had about the previous scene. So you thought it was okay, a unique watch.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take unique. I think that's okay. I think I will take generally both your comments as
I'm happy I
positive.
watched it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's all I want. To be happy that you watched it, that's all I want in this podcast.
Yeah, like I've never seen this film. I knew it existed. Because of what's his name again?
Wong Kar Wai, Tony
Tony.
Leung.
Grandmaster.
Yes. Yeah, because of him, and I think he's great, and I like him. And I watched on YouTube. There's I forget who does it, but there's a series, where actors break down their like
Is that GQ?
maybe like their most iconic roles, and I watched his.
And this is one of them.
Right, and this is one of them. So I
As it should be.
got I heard him talking about this movie, so I was aware of it, but yeah, I'd never seen it, and it seemed like this was pretty up there with a lot of people. So I am happy that happy I watched it. Maybe I would watch it again like later on. I feel like whenever it comes to doing the podcast at a certain time of day, like by the time of day where we start watching the film, is where my mind and my body start to kind of crash a little. So like
Yeah.
but when we started watching this, really wanted a nap. So it was hard for me. So I was watching it and I was paying attention, but a part of me was like, I could really just close my eyes and go to bed right now.
So
Plus it was cold in our apartment, and when I get cold, I will
yeah.
bundle, and then that just makes me even more sleepy.
Off the back of that, though, we have agreed to start watching films at separate times. I usually make Devon watch it when I watch it, but there's no need for that. So she's going to watch it when she's comfortable. I'm going to watch it where I'm comfortable.
Right.
That way, we can both be happy.
And and I can be a bit more engaged because
it's pointless us watching it at the same time because we don't talk. We don't talk during the film.
No, of course
And
not.
at the end, she doesn't turn to me and go, "That's good." She keeps her opinion to herself.
Of course I'm not going to, because we're going to talk about it here.
Yeah.
So so actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I might watch it again on my own one day.
You should. You get more from it.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
The ultimate question.
Yeah.
What genre is this film?
Other
Blue
than
balls.
drama, it's a drama.
It's a drama.
Yeah, of course.
What genre is this film?
What?
Oh,
What
you
genre
mean
is
like
this
is it a romance?
Is it a romance?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
This film's a
absolutely.
romance?
Of
Absolutely.
course it is.
Even though it doesn't culminate in anything?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Then I have another question for you. You've just answered the question. Can romantic films end in tragedy?
Sure, of course they do. Of
Okay.
course.
Romeo and Juliet, baby.
It's
What's that?
considered.
Never heard of that.
You have it?
Well,
It's pretty good. It's a guy
No.
named Bill.
That's a good point.
Actually, it's considered a tragedy, right?
That is a tragedy.
Yeah, that is a tragedy.
Romantic tragedy, I guess,
Maybe,
exists.
but yeah, but
Tragedy.
100%.
It's easy to say Lost in Translation ends sadly as well.
Titanic
Bittersweet.
ends with Leonardo DiCaprio dying, but it's
does?
still a romance. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Then I have another question. Are Tony Leung and Maggie Cheung intimate in this film?
No. Sex?
they're not sexual, but there is a level of
Are they
intimacy.
physically intimate in this film?
I'll tell you right now, if my wife was canoodling with some chap and doing that stuff, I wouldn't love it.
Okay.
And holding hands, we're cooking them dinner and all this,
There's a level of intimacy, yes.
Okay. But they're not physically intimate.
smoking his
No.
cigarettes.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
That's my question. Are they
Oh.
physically intimate in this film?
Nope.
There is
Am I missing something?
there is some, but there is some touching, right? What do you consider?
Do they kiss
No,
or make love?
no.
All right. I disagree. So that's an
So
interesting
that's why.
point.
So that's why I'm saying there is a level of.
I think they have sex in this
Oh, you do think
film.
they have?
Sure do. Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a scene
Really?
in some corridor or something, and he goes,
So wait, so you think-
hold on, I got it.
Sorry.
Don't interrupt. I mean,
I
I
apologize.
didn't mean to interrupt you. If I don't get it now, I'm going to lose it.
Sure.
I think I already lost it.
Go on. Am I missing something?
Yeah, he goes, they might think we did this, but we know we didn't. And he was like very adamant about that.
At what stage in the film does he say that?
After I think they were talking about them.
Oh yeah, but a lot happens after that.
There's a scene in this film where right at the end, not right at the end, sorry, before the end, she breaks down in tears
Right.
with him. And then they get a cab home.
Right.
And she says to him, I don't want to go home tonight. I don't think she goes home. I think that's the only night where they are physically intimate together. then she goes
Really?
home. Yeah. I think in that moment, they actually, because it's the only time in the film, in my opinion, where she finally breaks down and reveals that she is in love with him. Because when he walks away and says, I'm going to Singapore and we're going to break this off, she starts weeping. And that's
Right.
the only time she breaks down and actually reveals it. And I think for that one night, I think they are actually
So you
together.
think that kid is his?
That's an open-ended question.
Right.
So
And so that brings a whole new aspect to it, though, because interesting.
So I think, and by all means, this question and this answer, it's totally up into interpretation. Like there
Right.
is no answer to it, no official answer to it.
Right.
But I think they are. I think there's something that solidifies their love, and they decide on this final night, on this one night, we are going to be together, and then we're not going to be together.
Interesting.
In my opinion, that's what happens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
That's
I think a lot of other people would say that no, they're not.
that's
Right.
much more romantic.
Much more tragic.
Also tragic. Yes. But I like to think that they definitely are. So I've got more questions about the film. Then I'm sorry if I sound like a school teacher, but I just want to find out more
No.
what you think.
I mean, you've watched it multiple times, right?
Yeah. But
And sorry for saying, please don't interrupt me. I didn't
okay.
mean that. That was very quick.
That's
you had
okay.
something on your mind.
And
You need to get
aggressive.
out.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll just put my hand on you like Bane in Batman and say, "Do you feel in charge?"
If you speak, it'll be very painful for you.
You feel in charge.
This may be. I don't know. I'll be interested to hear your answers. Why? What's Maggie Cheung's deal in this film?
Okay, well, damn. See how a question can really change your mind
So
about things? That already made me think different.
you mean what? Like in referencing what? Like her marriage or her perspective on her
What's
marriage? Or do you
her?
mean like in
What does she
general?
want?
What is she after?
Why won't she give in to Tony Leung? Why is she
That's an excellent question.
not cold to him, but it's quite obvious that right. So if you don't know, there's certain like metaphors in this film and certain visual cues that imply something. Right?
Smoke.
And
Talk to me about that.
smoke is it means a million things in this film. Smoke is sexuality, smoke is intimacy, smoke is impatience, smoke is forlorn. It's a whole bunch
Impatience.
of yes.
Just smoke
It's
lingering.
tension.
Mhm.
It's
Just
tension.
like him.
Yeah.
I'm
staring.
smoking because I'm not having sex with you. Or I'm not loving you. You're not letting me love you. It's his
He's brooding.
yes. It's like a fidget spinner for him. It's yeah. But why so a lot later on in the film there's this very specific way that shows that he is one way and she is another. And that is he 100% lets his guard down. The way he does that is he's always loose tied. He's always casual, and when he's eating with her, he's taking super large bites. And if you watch her, she never lets her guard down. She's nibbling at her food. She looks impeccable at all times. She drinks slowly from a glass. She has always
Interesting.
got this air
I didn't
of,
catch that.
I have to hold myself at such high regard. And he is like, oh, I've let it all go. You see me at my worst now. I am absolutely, beyond casual. And it's the same with she always sees him sick in his most needy time. He never sees her sick. She is always the one caring for him. He's never the one caring for her. So she's seen him at his worst.
I didn't pick up. I picked up on her demeanor, but I didn't pick up on
He's
his.
always super. He's just let
Right.
himself
He's
go.
very laid
He's
back.
smoking casually. He doesn't give a shit. Because he's like, I'm open to you. You see me. I'm in love with you. I've broken down every single barrier. I am yours. And my question is, why isn't she his? Why? What is it with her?
This
Should
is
we-
just for discussion, right? There's no real
Oh,
answer.
there's no real. Of course there is.
Should we just briefly say what the plot of this movie is?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So two married couples end up moving in, renting rooms in apartments next to each other. And basically we discover that the woman, Maggie Cheung, we found out that her husband is having an affair with Tony Leung's wife. And so these two find out about it and basically just get together. And initially, it just starts as, why is this happening? How did this happen? Why did they get together? And then just the more time they spend together, then they seem to have a connection. And
Yeah. It's ironic, right? It's the ultimate irony that them recreating their spouses, like they're literally recreating how their spouses would have met and
Right.
how they would have gotten together,
Right.
and that ultimately leads to them getting together.
Right.
It's very romantically ironic, or ironically romantic. One of the
Yeah.
two.
But as Sean says, there's a certain point where Tony Lung is like, I'm done with her. I'm done. But she has no interest in, or doesn't, or says that she will not and won't leave her husband.
Now, I guess my question would
Then
be,
but then by the end, I'm just like, so then what happens? So Tony Lung obviously leaves his wife. He fucks off to Singapore.
Mhm.
So I guess what? So does that mean that, is she still with her husband? Does that mean that because his mistress is gone, I mean, does she actually confront her husband? Because there is a moment where she practices confronting him. Does she actually confront him? Does it end with the missus, with Tony Lung's missus? And obviously obviously they're not living next door. They move on. Everyone kind of moves on to different and moves out of this one apartment building. But yeah, and she's has a son.
yeah, um, I think every question, or most questions you ask about this film, not you but anyone, they're very open to interpretation, right? It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, there are no
is she still with her
straightforward.
husband at the end? Is she not? That's open ended.
Right.
You don't know, but you can make up the ending for yourself.
Right.
I prefer to kind of not know, because there's no way of finding out.
Yeah.
But I do find it very interesting. But I've always wondered why Maggie Cheung never gives herself to Tony Leung, and in my opinion, I think there's multiple reasons. One is there's the social thing, right? Society.
Sure.
That women don't cheat on their husbands. You can tell that right from the beginning. Literally, I think it's the first line in the film. Someone says to Maggie Cheung, "What's your name?" And she
My
goes,
husband.
"My husband's name is Chan."
Yeah.
And it's obvious that women are, is the word subservient? Is that the word?
Right.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
To their husbands.
There's another example. So one of the thing, Maggie Chun, her husband, is always away on business, always. And so while he's gone, she goes out, and so I guess the person who owns or the apartment, that the room that they're renting, she confronts Maggie Chung about always, going out. I noticed you're going out a lot at night, and like, you shouldn't. Basically tells her, you shouldn't be doing that. That you're a married lady and you
Kiss my
should,
ass.
right?
How
You
about that?
shouldn't. You
Mind
shouldn't
your own
be.
business, you old coot.
You shouldn't be going out. But he's gone, and at this point, this is during the time. This is already after now that we've found out that he's having an affair, and he's fucked off with Tony Lung's wife. But regardless, it's like he's gone all the time, so it's like she's expected to just be home
And just
and wait for him.
wait for him.
Right.
Wait for him. Yeah. And I think there is that societal expectation from her. But I also think there's something about Maggie Cheung's character in this film.
100%.
And that is, she is, and I've used this word probably 12 times so far, but I'm going to use it again. She's impeccable. And she's impeccable in every single way. In that, firstly, she looks stunning.
Yeah.
Secondly, her dresses are different in every single scene, which says an awful lot. Also, she's this she's this person that can get everything for everyone. Granted, it's her husband,
Right.
but she's like, "I'll get you a rice cooker."
Right. My
And
husband, he goes to Japan. You can get this bag, or he can get this.
I'll get you
rice
this
cooker.
bag.
Yeah.
And she's this facilitator of people getting things. And I think she holds herself in such high regard that
Because her husband is is he, I guess, a successful business?
I think it's,
Successful enough
I
businessman?
don't even think it's him.
No? Oh,
I
not
think
about
it's
him. Okay.
her. I
Okay.
think she, and also I think that there's an obvious thing that is, we don't want to be like that.
Hmm.
We don't want to be like our husband and wife.
Mm.
We're as bad as them if we do this. I think there's an aspect of that, which is we're just doing what they did, and they upset us, and we're just But I think there's something about her in her image in this film that just you also notice. I'm sure everyone noticed this. Like even the way she walks, she has a very specific walk in this film. She has a
Oh, a
side to
switch.
side.
Oh, yeah, very. Yeah,
Yes. Also, I
a
only noticed it this time.
swish
The camera focuses on her arse
on her.
quite a
Yes,
lot in this
yeah.
film. Yeah,
You see the swish.
but she's like ethereal. She's like this goddess, this angel, and I think she knows that she is to a degree, and she doesn't want to drop from that level. Whereas Tony Lung, I think that's the difference. Tony Lung is willing to let it all go.
Why do you think she follows all these rules?
That might be societal. I wonder if it is societal. I don't know enough about Hong Kong culture, or Chinese culture, I should say, or like that time in Hong Kong and how women were considered. I don't know. But if you notice that there's a lot of other mentions of like married couples and affairs in this film. The guy that Tony Lung works with, he fancies a married woman that he talks about at the start. You know, that he goes and visits a married woman in another office, and Tony Lung's like, "I'm not like you,"
Yeah.
and
He talks about Maggie Cheung, Ping. Yeah.
yeah, and
He talks about Maggie Cheung.
and he said, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's Maggie Cheung, of course. What am I
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
It's Maggie Cheung."
Yeah, I
And-
thought I was really.
Yeah, no, he
Sorry,
was talking
I
about her
introduced
and how
myself then.
beautiful. Yeah, how
And,
beautiful she is.
but Tony Lung goes, "I'm not like you."
Yeah.
And then, of course, he is like him because he falls in love with Maggie Cheung. But I think also her boss is having an affair, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. There's two distinct women.
Yo, get some bags for my
Right.
Hoovers.
And she's a facilitator
Oh,
of
yeah.
that affair.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, is he?
Yes. Mrs. Yu and then his wife. Mrs. Yu is always mentioned, but then his wife as well. His wife's at one
Oh,
restaurant and his missus is at another.
I didn't realize
mistress-
she was referring to different people.
Yes.
His mistress is like, "Hey, I know it's your birthday. I know you're out with the wife. I'm just gonna have a quiet one in."
Yes. Yes. And I think it's interesting that Maggie Cheung facilitates that affair,
Oh.
but she's unwilling to have the affair of herself, but of her own. But that's because he's a man, and again, I think it's okay for men to have affairs or less frowned upon. So I think there's something societal. Again, I don't know enough about it, but I think it's very interesting that the difference between the two of them fascinates me in this film, and the fact that she won't even let him touch her. And of
Right.
course, when she finally does, it's beautiful and amazing and incredible. But yeah, I don't know. I find it very interesting. There's an amazing juxtaposition between when they're first in the car and he's pretending to be her husband and she's pretending to be his wife.
Hmm.
And they're talking about recreating it.
Hmm.
And he touches her hand and she pulls away.
Yeah.
And then later on, he touches her hand and stays holding it, and she holds his. This film's fucking so good. I think there's a lot to talk about in this film. I'm going through some of my notes. Yeah, there's like certain moments that it's such clever filmmaking. That there's a jump in time where Maggie Cheung, who's called Chan in this film, and Tony Leung's called Chow, she goes over to Chow's house and they're talking about wuxia stories, like martial arts stories.
Right.
And she goes, "Oh, I love them." And Tony Leung's like, "Oh, I love them too. I'd love to write one day." And he gives her a newspaper that has like a serialized wuxia story in it. And he goes, "Oh, you can borrow my books whenever you want. I have a series of them. I collect them."
Right.
And she's just like, "Yeah, maybe some other time." And then the next scene, you see her returning this wad of books.
Yeah.
And at the same time she returns those books, it's mentioned that Tony Leung has had a quarrel with his wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it all coincides that he's falling for her. He's giving her these books, and he's slowly, and at the same time, he's quarreling with his wife. It's taking him away from his wife.
And no mention of his wife liking his books.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Well,
Oh, and it's also I think important to mention that you don't actually see the spouses.
yeah, never.
Like you hear
one of
you
their
hear you hear the guy, you see like the back of like the wife's
Mhm.
head, but the spouses you never actually see.
yeah. There's
I
also
thought that was cool.
there's so many brilliant scenes in this. So there's a
That
moment.
is cool. Sorry. It's because the director is making us the people.
Yes.
We-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
dunking us in their shoes
Yes.
and really taking away the other
Mhm.
people away from the equation
Yeah.
Also, he's
and what
also
they're doing.
he's trying to say that this world is about these two characters,
Right.
as well. Like these two, this man and this woman falling in love. The whole world is about this.
Also, this one. Just like them, we don't know what they're actually doing behind those closed doors.
Nope.
Right.
We don't know how many times they're doing it.
So upon
Mhm.
that, I have a question. Maggie Chan goes to wait. She goes over to Tony Lung's house, and the
Yeah.
wife answers the door.
Sick wife.
Yes, that's Tony Lung's wife,
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony.
Right.
Yeah.
and she goes, "I heard voices.
Yeah.
Is your husband home?" And she goes, "No, it must have been blah blah blah. I was talking to this person."
Right.
She's in there with her husband, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think there is a moment there where it is astounding how good Maggie Cheung is at acting. She doesn't say anything, but
Yeah.
her face just comes to the realization that my husband's in there.
Yeah.
She's like, "You want some medicine?"
It's so fucking good. It's
Right.
so good.
Yeah, because there's a moment, especially there's a moment after Tony Long's wife closes the door, and it's just Maggie Chun in the hallway, and 100%.
The scene after that, is that Maggie Cheung crying? And
Yeah.
who knocks on her door? Is that Tony Lung?
I can't remember.
There's a scene where it's just a woman weeping, and I was just, but you see the back of her head. I'm assuming that's that Maggie Cheung, but then it's just a hand knocking at a door, and I'm like,
I
is
don't
that Tony
remember.
Lung hearing her cry?
I was kind of confused. I thought that was
I thought that was
Tony
his
Lung's
wife.
wife
I
crying.
thought that was his wife.
Well, why is she crying?
I
No,
don't know.
it makes no sense. I was wrong.
Right, it makes more sense than this
But
Maggie
wait,
Cheung
because
crying.
but you don't see. But no, because it was the hairstyle. It was his wife.
But why
Was
is
it?
she crying?
I don't know.
And the voices that she heard, could that be misconstrued as crying in the bathroom? Or was that dude actually there and they were borking?
Oh, I think they were balking.
I think he was. I think the husband was over there.
So is she crying because the husband's left her? Not Tony Lung, Maggie Cheung's husband. Is that why she's crying?
I genuinely.
This probably makes no
I'm
sense
so-
to so
Is
many
she
people.
crying?
Remember, I would have to see that scene again because if it's the scene I think you're talking about, I thought that person, the woman crying, was Tony Lung's wife.
But you don't know why.
Right. I don't know why though.
Okay, that's, I guess.
If it was Tony Lung's wife, maybe she's aware of what she's doing and she hates it, but she can't get enough of that ding-a-ling.
Maybe it's just maybe the state that her marriage is in. The
It
state of
definitely
her
doesn't
relationship.
imply, though, that there is any guilt between those two. I mean,
It
they are
doesn't.
away together
For a long ass time.
all the time as
Yeah.
well, all the time.
Yeah.
So it never implies that there's any guilt.
Because there was a moment. There was definitely a moment where it's like a hazy kind of screen, and you get hit.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, there was one other where Tony Long was on the phone with his wife, and you see kind of like a hazy kind of image of the wife and the conversation. I don't remember.
Tony Lung's amazing just denial as well early on, where he's just like, "Oh, your wife's not working today," and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, she didn't come in today," and Tony Lung's like, "Oh, okay, she must just have a day off." It's like, no.
Oh yeah,
His
like
best friend's
no,
like, "Hey, I saw your wife hanging out with a guy." He's like,
right.
"Probably a friend."
Just a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just there. It's the evolution of this film is fantastic.
How about the scene where they talk about the tie in the bag?
So good.
Yeah, that was
It's like,
great.
huh? It's like, where'd you get that? Oh, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're just
that was
like,
really
essentially
great.
testing each other.
And also,
See what the other one knows.
she talks about at work, her boss is like, "Yeah, can you get my wife and my whore some bags?" And he's like, "Different colors." He's like, "I don't give a shit." And like, she has a bag that was given to her. From,
Yeah.
There's so much in this film. It's so good, and there's so many little lines like Mrs. who runs who's the one
Doubtfire.
always playing mahjong?
I can't remember.
This is I forget her name, but she says about Maggie Cheung. She's like, "Oh, she dresses up like that to go and get noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she knows Tony Lung's gonna be there. She's showing off to Tony Lung.
I mean, she showed up like that though.
That's true. She
Yeah.
always, like I mentioned
She
earlier,
always
always
looks like
dresses
that, yeah.
But maybe she just knows she's banging. Maybe.
This makes two of us. You know what I mean?
Also, I like when they go for dinner together and they pretend to be their spouses and
Mhm.
they're ordering food
Yeah.
and they order like a steak or whatever and he puts like mustard on her plate.
Yeah.
She hits him with a no, he hits her with a line.
Like that.
Do you like it hot?
Woo!
Like, oh, I get it. And she goes, "Your wife likes
Your wife
hot
likes hot
dishes."
dishes, yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, my husband's a sweet talker too."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything in this film is so loaded. Like there's so much sexual tension.
I bet they
between
go
them.
home after seeing each other and just crank down.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
With some noodles.
So I'm going to ask another question. I think this is the big one, right? Because I think this is one of the most important thematic things in the film, or
Okay.
one of the most obvious ones. What I don't know if you noticed this. What do you think the color red represents in this film, or did you not notice?
Love and desire.
You reckon it's love and desire?
I think so.
Okay. I don't think you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think because red can represent a bunch of things, right?
Right. So that hotel that he goes to stay at after he decides that he's, after he leaves his wife is just tons of red.
There's tons of red throughout the film.
True, but that was the most. That was the one. That was that particular place stood out the most to me.
I mean, I think you're right because when he doesn't speak to her for a few days, and then calls her and says that he's sick and he wants her to come to the hotel,
Mhm.
and she rushes to him. She's wearing a massive red coat, and it's like she's
Oh, I didn't
finally her
remember that.
desire is getting to. She hasn't seen him in a bunch of days. It's getting to her, so I think you're right.
Oh, I didn't
But I
remember that.
also think that it may have an element of the Scarlet Letter, which means adulterer, right?
Right.
I think there's an aspect of it that is they're having an affair, and I think there's that aspect to it as well. But I think it's like romance and sexuality and kind of passion,
Mhm.
I suppose. And there's so much red in this film. Maggie Cheung eats with red chopsticks. There's red glasses. His sheets are bright red. It's like, what's more sexual than having a red bed? Like, it's
Oh, that his whole bed was. It was just there was a red blanket on top of it.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Red blanket, and then she
Okay.
happens to lie on it and sleep there, and oof,
Okay.
you know what he's thinking.
I could go for some noodles. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's right. He says, "I'll stay up. I'll."
I gotta write some martial arts fan fiction
Right,
or whatever
out
he's
of the
doing.
Drunken Master. He says. Yeah.
That was kind
Yeah,
of
I
clever
got that
too.
too.
Remember Ping shows up and he's hammered? She's like, "When did you think of that character?"
Young Wu Ping.
Sorry. Do you remember when Ping,
Oh, Ping! I thought you said
his
Young Wu
friend,
Ping. Yeah.
shows up hammered?
And then he writes for him.
She goes, "What did you think of him?" He's like, "Just now."
Yeah, it's Also, no one looks cooler than Tony Lung just smoking in the rain.
Yeah.
There's so many shots in this film where you're just like, yeah, so good, so good. Yeah, I think speaking of the red curtains, there's a scene in this film which I genuinely think they should take out. I don't like it. It annoys the shit out of me.
Shoot it.
Early on in the film, before he officially leaves his wife, or they break up, and before he ends up in the hotel, there's a scene where they are at the hotel by the red curtains, stood next to each other, and they just closed the door.
Okay, so you didn't watch this on HBO Max then?
Yes, we did.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
You probably missed that scene. You probably blinked and missed it. It's about 10 seconds long. And it's a flash forward to when they're in the hotel. But it's an entirely random flash forward. Again, it lasts 10 seconds. And no words, just them standing, looking at the camera. They're in it's red curtains, and he closes the door, and it's at the hotel. But they haven't gotten to the hotel yet. So it's a fucking random scene in the middle of the film. And I
remember
hate
that.
it. Because I'm just like, okay, I get it, but why put that in there?
I
It's
don't
very
remember.
strange. Yeah, it's odd.
Some of the scenes I get that you got to make a world and you have to make the characters real. And to do that, you have to have less than amazing conversations.
Yeah.
People don't have crazy conversations all day.
Mhm.
But man, there's like a lot of, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm good." All right, you hungry? Nope. And then lots of staring.
Oh,
You know, I'm a big fan of
oh, I love it.
staring at through windows.
Oh, I love it. I love every time. Every time that scene where she is drinking tea and staring out the window, and then it goes to the next scene and he's smoking and looking through the glass at his work, and they're just obviously just longing for each other. Fucking good stuff. Really
A
good
lot
stuff.
is said without being said.
So much in this film. It's all unspoken. Everything's unspoken in this film because
Absolutely.
they never have sex. And by the way, this film, when originally conceived and originally they started writing and making the film, it had sex scenes in it and kissing and just lots of physical
Oh,
intimacy.
that's
Really?
an entirely different movie.
And
Oh,
they took
100%.
that. Well, they changed the movie entirely.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't be on anybody's radar.
No.
If that would just be another movie.
It'd just be another romance
Yeah.
that ends badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many scenes where there's right. So Wong Kar Wai somehow manages to show the perfect encapsulation, is that a word, of depression. So they haven't seen each other for a number of days. Tony Leung is just eating rice out of his rice cooker. And I'm just like, yeah, depressed people would definitely do that. They wouldn't use a bowl. They would just eat it straight out the rice cooker. And that's what he's doing. I'm just like, yeah, I appreciate that. It's very, very
Interesting.
good. So many little scenes like that. So we could jump forward a little bit where Tony Leung, he basically says that he's going to go to Singapore. He's got a job in Singapore. And he says, I'm going and I want you to come with me. If I can get a ticket, will you come with me? And she says,
These nuts.
negative.
Yeah, she says no.
She decides not to go with him, and he walks away and says, fine, we'll never see each other again. He
Yep.
holds her hand, and she bursts into tears, and he goes back, and he just gives her a very, very warm hug and looks after her. And I love that because it's the only time, like I mentioned earlier, it's the only time she breaks. It's the only time we see her vulnerable. We've never seen her vulnerable in the rest of the film.
When she comes back.
Yeah, when she goes back to the hotel.
A little cheep.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, that's great as well. Great
I mean,
acting.
that whole bit, every scene with her in that hotel, she looks miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So I feel like even though
never in front of him.
no, but it's the fact that she's even there, the fact that she's just sitting there in his, hotel room where he stayed and he's left the country. All of that is, it was just, it's so sad. And that 100% shows, I feel like that is a part of her showing her vulnerability, just the fact that she was there.
Yeah, that's
The fact that she continually goes back.
yeah. After that scene, he goes to Singapore, and she goes to kind of meet him before he leaves at his hotel room, and he is gone, and it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. What do you think about the Singapore scenes with her going to Singapore?
Wait, she went to Singapore?
I'm confused too.
Wait, isn't he in Singapore?
Right. Was she? When did she go to? What scene are you talking about where she's in Singapore?
Real quick.
Is he still in Singapore when she goes to his room?
Hold on. This is what I thought. Probably wrong. I thought she just went back to the same apartment with the nice lady. They chatted about the future, etc. And then he came back to the same apartment.
Right. Like
lived right.
He
Yeah.
came back. Sorry.
Yeah,
then.
he came back.
Oh, I'm confused. Wait,
what?
confused then.
What
When
part
she
are you
smokes
talking
the
about?
cigarette in his room, where is he?
He's in Singapore and she's in the hotel that he was staying at before he left for Singapore.
Okay.
Wait, how does he find the cigarette?
Oh.
goes to Singapore.
Oh. But it looks like the same hotel.
No, it's not. It's a completely different room.
Wait,
is
she
it?
goes to his hotel room in Singapore, smokes a cigarette, put it in his ashtray, and leaves?
Yes.
How would she know where he's staying?
I don't know, but I thought it was Singapore. Well, where is it then? Is he gone back?
That's a good. Or is
I
it? Wait a
thought
minute.
she
Or is
was
that
at
before
her-
he? Or is that before? Is that after he?
That's after
Is that
he's
really
left. What
after
the
he's
fuck?
left?
He's after he's left.
Oh.
And he's with his best friend in the restaurant, and then he goes home.
But that's in.
That's in Singapore
That's
because he
in
goes with him for the
Singapore?
job. So he's in Singapore. So he goes back to his room, and she's been there, and she smoked a cigarette in his room.
What confused me is it looked like it looked like the same hotel from from when he was saying.
The red curtained hotel?
Yeah, it looked.
No, it looks completely different.
Did it?
It looks nothing like that.
Well, then I'm even more confused. Then yeah, how would she even know where he's staying? How would
Everybody
Am
knows
I wrong?
everything. I don't know.
Am I wrong? Does she not
I-
go to Singapore? Everyone.
I
That
honestly
completely
don't know.
changes the movie, though.
Hold on.
If she tracks him down and
Because that would be
That's why I thought it was super romantic.
be weird. I feel like that would make it weird if she went all the way there, not to see him, just to sit in that hotel room,
he wasn't like, "Holy shit, did this chick come all the way down here?" He
right?
was like mildly surprised.
Because then I feel like if he knew that she had come, he would have gone back to her. Yeah, I'm confused.
Which he
then
did.
I'm confused though.
Hold on.
Yeah. If someone I feel like I need to look at that scene again because I thought that was the same hotel. I wish I could find a way to just isolate that one scene.
I'm looking up now.
You're what, like on like IMDb or something, or you're Googling that scene?
I'm Googling the plot, basically. Yeah.
Hello there, listeners.
Sue arrives at Singapore and visits Chow's apartment. Yeah, she goes to Singapore. I fucking knew it.
How does she?
Does it matter? It doesn't matter how she finds him.
I don't
She called around.
like that.
I think it's amazing that she finds him. The fact that she would go beyond her means to find him in Singapore. And I love the fact. See, I was just about to ask you a bunch of questions about it, but you didn't think she was in Singapore, so it ruins all my questions.
Well, now I know she's in Singapore.
But she went and didn't see him.
No.
She tried to.
No, she didn't. She didn't try to see him at all.
Right.
It's the opposite of that.
So she
goes
goes
into his
So
apartment.
she just goes. Interesting.
She steals the slippers that he had taken with him to remind him of her in Singapore. She takes her pink slippers back, leaves him a cigarette that she smoked instead. Then she actually goes down the hall, and when he gets back to his room, she calls him from the same hotel he's in, but she doesn't say anything. And that's what makes it amazing. But my question to you guys was going to be, why doesn't she say anything? Why doesn't she meet him? But
Why didn't she stay? Yeah.
you guys are...
She's a kind of a ass.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
You know?
It's not fucked up.
Tony Leung loves that, I'm sure.
No. I think it breaks his heart, though.
No
to put
shit.
in there.
What do you think? I mean,
you're
I'm
being
setting you
sarcastic.
up.
Sorry.
The love of
Yeah.
his life shows up.
Yeah.
Fucks with him.
Yeah. I don't think she's fucking with him, though. I think it's she can't do it. She can't.
He
She
is
can't.
taking it as he does not like this. This is like
No.
you'll never get this.
No.
No.
So you're saying
He's feeling he does not love this feeling.
He doesn't
once
love the
again.
feeling, no, because he's saying I missed out on her again.
Yeah,
She's
that's
here.
awful to do to someone.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible, but I think she does it because she can't face him. She can't do it. Now, the question I had was, can she not face him because she's still with her husband? Or is it something beyond that, where she just...
You're totally right. Yeah, this is Singapore.
Don't look at me like that.
That's crazy.
better
So
than me?
she-
I will look at you like that. I think there's something beautiful about it, but my question is, why can't she even talk to him on the phone? Is it because I lost him and who am I to intrude on his life now? Because how long was it between that as well?
1966 comes up in my brain, but I don't know.
63 is Singapore.
Oh shit.
So how many years?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the timeline is.
Yeah.
But I've always been interested as to why she can't speak to him. Like, what is... And I always wondered, part of me wondered whether, and I don't know if the timeline lines up, whether she's there to tell him she's pregnant.
That I like that much better.
And she can't tell him.
I like that 10 times more.
Right? Part of me wonders whether that's the answer. She's goes to tell him I'm pregnant, but she just can't bring herself to do it.
She tells him she's pregnant without telling him she's pregnant in a weird way.
Do you think he knows?
I don't
I
think so.
think if you make sweet to somebody and they
Okay.
show up, do weird shit like put their
I don't think so.
lipstick on your cigarette,
I don't.
call you, I don't know.
I think it's either she or it's her way to say I'm still thinking of you. I came to you, but we can never be together. Or maybe it's that. Maybe it's still we can never be together, but
Which is
no, I love you, and no, I will always love you.
In
Oh,
a
I like
different
that.
in a different time,
Yes,
in a
still,
different world, this would have happened.
still crazy though.
it's great. It's fucking awesome. It's awesome. All those answers to that particular moment. I'm sure everyone has plenty of different answers as well. But those answers, all of them are so fucking great. And I love the film so open. I think it's fantastic. And also, I will go ahead and say, in all of cinema, this has my favorite ending of any film.
Caw, caw, caw,
Any film.
caw, caw, caw.
I thought you were just being fucking weird. Okay. How long does that mean?
We're at an hour.
Oh
An hour?
shit!
Okay, yeah. Sorry, you're confused.
You
here?
see, I looked over at
Yeah.
the computer once,
Uh-huh.
and it was like an hour and 1 second.
Pretty good.
Bang!
Devon's Kakar was letting us know that we're an hour into the podcast.
I was like, did I miss that at the end of
So-
the movie?
Yeah, that's what I wondered. I was just like, was there a bird at the end of the movie?
You have to do movements.
Sorry.
It's like,
Yes,
"Oh, I did-
yeah.
caw, caw."
Yeah, the ending of this movie is like beautiful. It's my favorite ending of any film. You don't like it?
When it goes, the end.
The end scene.
Oh, maybe I missed that. Maybe that went over my head too.
He goes and whispers his secret into the wall.
Oh, right,
That
right.
moment.
right.
Oh, is that what
Devon's
he
looking
was
at me
doing?
Like I'm
Is
just
that what he was doing?
Yeah, but he didn't cut a hole in a tree.
No, he did it. He did it in a temple. He didn't do it in a tree, but he went to a temple. Do you remember when he told that story about how people whispered secrets? Did you fall
Oh,
asleep?
yes. No.
Dude,
Yeah.
So do you think they did it
Okay.
because of that scene? That's his secret?
What
That
do
they actually Shabbat Shalom'd each other?
Well, that's it's
Okay.
whether
Well,
he's
I remember that story, but I didn't realize that that's what he was doing.
he plugs it up with mud.
Okay. Yeah.
Simpletons.
I didn't.
Dog, you watched this movie
I'm
multiple
sorry. It
times.
was it was a callback. I didn't make the
I
connection.
love it because he can't keep it in anymore. He has to tell, but he can't tell people because people can't know.
Right.
And he's saving her, right? At the end of the day, he's saving her because he's not telling everyone about
And
it.
himself, because he's going, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's confession, right?
Yes.
It's the ultimate confession because it's the confession of love, and he whispers it and gets out of his system, plugs it up, and it's there forever, like he told the guy. And I just love the fact that the film ends with, and I'm probably getting a bit too weird, but it ends with, like he said, he goes, you whisper the secret and the secret's there forever. Their love is there forever.
Right.
It's eternally there now because he's whispered it into the wall. And I fucking love that. I love that he's got out of his system. No one has to know. It's ultimately just between them and where he's put it. And I love that. I think I don't know, there's something enchanting about that. It's my all-time favorite ending. I adore it. They could have ended it in so many different ways, but the fact that he just goes there and whispers his secret, good stuff.
Should have ended it with him and Ping going to the whorehouse.
Well, funny enough,
And then him just going, F that broad.
this film was trimmed by 30 minutes, and there's a scene at the end where they meet 10 years later, but no one's ever seen it
Hmm.
because it was cut out of the film, and I wouldn't have liked that. I think it ends perfectly. Anyway,
Very sad.
The end.
do you have any more appreciation of the film now that you've thought about it a
Much
bit more?
more.
Yeah, I definitely feel like maybe it is a movie that I should revisit.
Okay.
I talked about half my notes. I didn't even talk about half the stuff
So-
I wrote about.
I'll be the first one to admit it. I was confused a couple times during this. Were you confused?
There were one or two moments where
Okay.
I was a little unsure, but now that you've with what we've talked about, there's clearly things that I want, like the fact that her that she was facilitating her boss's affair. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
And so that brings a new element to it. So yeah, I probably should go watch it again.
Do you like the fact where Tony Leung's talking about her and they're talking? Basically, Tony Leung confesses that I'm besotted with you, or I love you essentially, and she says we can't do this basically, and she says I wrote the line now. She just goes, I didn't think you'd fall in love with me.
Oh yeah.
Not, I didn't think I'd fall in love with you.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd fall in love with me. She's always unwilling to admit her feelings. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I also I want to know if I want to know whether anyone else thinks that they actually did the deed, and is that kid his, or just that they did the deed and the kid isn't his. Do you think they had sex in this film? Because I could be wrong. But anyway,
Listener question.
Listener question. Yeah.
Hey.
We have a question from one of our patrons, and it's one of our patrons that has not sent in a question for quite some time.
Good lord.
Big shout out to Sky Verval.
Still
Hey.
hanging with us.
Holy
right.
smoke.
Hanging
One
with
of our
Mr. Cooper.
originals.
She says, hey.
Hey.
She. We're not going to hear that very often.
Hell no.
Right?
Hey, is it too late for... No, why am I doing that? No, that's not the question. My questions are, 1, what are your top 3 favorite rom-coms? And 2, favorite Wong Kar Wai movie?
I can't answer the second question.
You can, because you've seen The Grandmaster and In the Mood for Love.
The
Which one's-
Grandmaster.
You prefer Grandmaster?
Grandmaster.
And another one. Another one, right?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
Trust
the
me, we've
Grandmaster.
never seen another Wong Kar Wai film. He has very specific films.
My favorite rom.
Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
That's Tony Leung. Wong Kar Wai's the director.
Oh, I thought you said Tony Leung. Fuck.
No.
Never mind.
My favorite rom-coms. I do very much enjoy Love Actually.
That's me.
Love
It's on my
Actually
list.
is great.
I've never seen that film.
You're going to shit. Dude, you're going to shit.
I've never seen Love Actually.
I love Love. Crazy Stupid Love is great as well.
Now you're talking my language.
That's a great one.
Now you're speaking my language. What's that from?
Now you're speaking my language?
Now you're speaking my language.
I don't know. That's what you've been said in a million films.
Here's money. Now you're speaking my language. Bishina? Bishina? Rush Hour?
Oh, God, no.
I'm good, baby. Take it away.
I'll stick to those two.
Just those two?
But did she give me? Did she have? Did she
Top
say?
3, she said.
Oh, top 3.
Yeah.
Oh. Shit. One more. Oh man.
What do you want? What do you want? Is that The Notebook?
Yeah, that's not romantic
Not a
comedy.
romantic
though, is it?
I
comedy,
haven't
though.
I haven't seen
No
it.
comedy in that film. While you're thinking, I'll
Yeah.
go into mine.
Go.
Unfortunately, I only have a top 2 as well. My number 1 would be Man Up. That's my all-time.
Man Up. Sorry, I 100% agree with you. Man Up is fantastic. Man Up is number.
The goddamn
Jesus
best.
I'm
Christ.
sorry. Man Up would be number 1. Crazy Stupid Love number 2. Love Actually number 3.
Man Up would be my
That's
number
my order.
1. Crazy Stupid Love would also be my number 2. I fucking love that film. And number
We're married
3,
for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Number 3, I don't know. Would you accept 40-Year-Old Virgin as a romantic comedy? I mean,
I feel like that's more of a comedy.
more of a comedy?
It's pretty serious at times. At times.
I mean,
I feel like it's more of a comedy.
okay.
I don't know,
God,
but that's
whether
just
it's-
me.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
yes,
I'm gonna Google best romantic.
What about you while you're
comedies.
looking? What about you, Cyrus?
I
Love
just
Actually,
don't believe
for
in
sure.
romance.
Actually,
I
absolutely.
don't believe in it. That's tough. I don't really watch many, but
Right.
10 Things I Hate About You.
That's a good one.
I've never seen that film either.
you know what's weird?
So
You're
good.
never gonna believe that I think that this is actually a good movie. Matthew McConaughey. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah.
Really?
Is that it?
I've
I've
never
never seen
seen.
that.
I've never seen the whole thing.
Dude, it's a massive chick flick, but it's kind of good.
Is it?
Oh, I've got one. The Big Sick. I fucking love that film. The Big
Oh,
Sick's
you
great.
did love The Big Sick.
I love it. Kumail Nanjiani, such a good film. I love that. And then there's one more on this list that I found that I actually... No. I've gone, is Forgetting Sarah Marshall romantic comedy? Or is it more comedy?
I just
I-
watched that
I think it's
again.
it's more of a comedy.
again. I just watched it.
So good.
Okay, then my top three would be Man Up, Crazy Stupid Love, and
Big Sick.
The Big Sick. Although special shout out to Silver Linings Playbook because that's a good film as well.
I just watched that again.
What's wrong with you?
I've been cooking, man.
You have
Dude,
been,
You're a
my
romantic comedy king, by the
lord.
sounds of it.
Silver Linings Playbook is very, very, very good.
Yes, it is.
Right?
It's cool watching. I'm gonna say the dumbest shit ever. It's cool watching movies again, but it is, man, with a real different
is.
perspective.
Yeah, it is.
It's cool focusing on you when you watch something for the first time. You get the arc. You get the big thing. You go, great movie. You watch it again. You watch it again, especially with time. You can focus. You're like, I want to look at that. So I was really looking at.
Can I actually give you a list of movies to watch, and are you gonna watch them?
I might. I got
My
some time.
lord.
I was really paying attention. I was really paying attention to Bradley Cooper's acting. Again, that's really stupid. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But I really was. I was like, what is the character and how is he doing it? And I was really paying attention to Jennifer Lawrence's acting. And I'm going down a rabbit hole here.
Go down it. I'm enjoying it.
There's about 20 seconds of exposition that she states that I didn't really hear the first time.
Mhm.
How she's a widow and then she became a because she's sad. And I kind of missed that part somehow.
I don't even remember.
And that's why she's a little
remember that bit.
sad and lives with her parents. And
Not a professional whore. Yeah, she just whores around.
she bangs everybody in her
I remember
office.
the-
Why are we calling you a whore? Promiscuous.
I don't even remember the widow bit.
Oh
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched the movie.
Her
Maybe I
husband,
need to revisit.
helps a guy whose car breaks down and gets hit by a car. She becomes a widow instantly, super, super sad, depressed, and then to feel something, she
Gotcha.
around the office.
even
And they gets fired, and then everything she's like,
You know what? Two films I watched in a row, and they were two absolute bangers. Silver Linings Playbook, and I followed it up with The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is fucking phenomenal as well.
yes. Hermione Granger's in this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's a good one.
And Flash.
And Flash, yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wingardium Leviosa. Wait, am I answering a question?
And Ender's Game.
Oh yeah,
Is that him?
yeah.
I don't know.
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
What your romantic comedies do you like? Well, you've named about 12 of them, so we can move on
Yeah,
to the next
sure.
one if you want. All right. Favorite Wong Kar Wai film? Do you like The Grandmaster or do you like this better than The Grandmaster?
This one.
Yeah, good boy.
Fucking just dancing in the rain and all that bullshit. Is
Uh,
he smoking in every movie?
yeah, I think so.
Jesus, smoking.
Wong Kar Wai loves smoking. He puts smoking in a lot of his films.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he means it to be like many different things. But I would be interested to see what you think of his other films because they are interesting watches. He has a very unique perspective on things.
Wong Kar Wai.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd like to ask him, Wong Kar Wai. Why, man? What does this mean?
Your door's over there. By the way, all his films are on HBO Max. So if you did want to watch them, Chungking Express, I recommend. It's great. Mr. The Stray.
Hey,
He asks us,
hey.
"What's your least favorite trope in romance films?" Do you see a thread here?
I
No.
do.
No correlation.
Yeah.
Least favorite trope.
I got one. Oh, I got a
What's
big one.
yours?
My least favorite trope in a romance film is the crux of a romance film. I fucking hate it in romantic comedies, especially. What happens is two people romance, schmoozing, getting together. They're getting closer and closer and closer. Then one of them does something stupid, and the other one goes, "Oh no, now we're never going to see each other again." And then they get back together again. That
Yeah.
bullshit right there.
I would
That
agree.
moment where one of them fucks up and sleeps, snogs the bridesmaid, or fucking does this, does that.
I would agree.
Fucking hate it. Why can't films just have normal romances where they just end up getting together, or it ends up with them both killing themselves?
That's the two options.
I 100% would agree with you that some sort of misunderstanding or whatever, like, shenanigans occurs, and I agree.
Yeah.
You know what's one? I don't know if it's in a romance film. Romance film? That sounds weird on the tongue.
Romance.
Sounding more intellectual.
Yeah, last night I watched a romance film.
You'll be telling me next time. I have been watching some cinema lately.
Some cinematic films. When a date, going, maybe they're having some drinks.
Mhm.
Maybe they're not lovers, but
Meet cute.
not quite.
Okay.
It's more like a meet bang.
Oh.
And they drink, things are happening. They go back to the guy's place, Shabbat, wake up. Oh, they go to the girl's place, wake up, the guy's gone. Why do they do that shit? Never once in my life have I disappeared. It's craziness.
I've got another one. Speaking of something similar as well.
Okay.
This always annoys me, right? Because I get it. It's purposeful. It makes sense, but I hate it. So the man and the woman go home. They get intimate. They do some.
I gotcha. Go for it. Go for it.
What do you think I'm going to say?
This is mine. I don't know if you're gonna.
Go on.
You kind of already breached
on.
it. They're like they tack each other when they are making out.
Okay, it's not that, but I know what you mean.
What the fuck is this, man?
No, I'm thinking of something even more
Breaking?
annoying.
Breaking things? What is that?
Taking into shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'll pick you up.
Yeah, I've seen a stand-up comedian say that's very white. White.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. No, so they have sex. Think about sex, right? If you don't know what sex
I
is,
do that often.
a P goes in a V.
Is that?
And just think, sex is the most intimate thing you can do. It's sweaty, it's lustful, it's all this good stuff.
Vulnerable.
Then we get a scene in the morning where they're lying in bed together and the girl goes, I've got to go. And she pulls the duvet up and goes, you can't see me naked.
True.
I just was all up in you.
I have a counter argument. Let's say alcohol is involved.
Yeah.
A little more free the night beforehand.
Let's say no alcohol was involved.
Hmm.
When you
There's kind of a let me cover up.
when you sleep with a woman,
I mean,
God willing.
what?
well, no. I hear what you're saying, but of course there is a reason for it. But I guess why. Well, I guess you can't take that scene out because I suppose because it probably leads somewhere. I mean, obviously, depending. I mean, the rating of the movie, it's not like you're going to be
Yes, that was
naked,
my
but
thing. That was my
right.
thing.
So
When I
that's
was saying it's purposeful,
so
yes.
yeah. So it is very purposeful.
But
And
my question,
so, what would be your alternative then?
they just don't show that scene at all. You just don't.
But
see
then
it.
but obviously there's a conversation involved with it.
They stay
There's
in
like,
bed.
maybe like there's like an awkward like back and forth, like, oh, that was great. There's some dialogue
Show
to
her
it.
back. Just show her come off the bed and her back, and she's nude, and
Mm.
that's fine.
Mm.
My question to you, right? You make sweet love to a woman.
One day.
Yep. You wake up in the morning. You're fully nude.
Every day.
She goes, I want breakfast. She doesn't say it like that. She says, please can I have breakfast?
I'm like, you want 2 eggs and a hanky? That means penis. Is that correct? What does that mean? It's from Austin Powers.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Take
like
it away. Keep going. Keep going.
She says,
Keep going.
please can I have breakfast? I'll just take a bowl of cereal. And you say, of course you can. Are you standing up and letting it all pendulate?
No one's seeing this when it's not ready to rock.
So you would pull up the duvet or the quilt and go, don't look at me.
Yeah. I go, no. And she goes, let me see it. And I go, no.
So that's what I'm saying, though. You would cover up, though. You'd put on some underpants.
I do everything to cover it up.
That's interesting.
I'll do camera tricks. I'll just put like one hand here.
Would you tuck?
I'll tuck it if I have to. I'll do everything.
So, but once you're with a woman for a certain amount of time, you're
Oh,
letting it all free.
No, I don't like it.
Wait.
Is this bad?
It's interesting.
I mean, I'll do it, but I don't want it just to be all.
You've been dating for 6 months.
Mhm.
Okay? She's
Right.
at your house again. She goes, remember that cereal I asked for 6 months ago? Can you get it me now? You're early in the morning. You've been together 6 months. You've met each other's parents.
Okay.
Are you letting it all hang?
Wait a minute. Like, you mean like letting it all hang while he goes and makes the cereal?
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Well, all right. Not cereal. He's going to the bathroom.
Okay, fine.
What
you're saying is you're not immediately covering up.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be in a nude. I shocked myself with that one. But I don't want like this to be eye line. There's always gonna be some.
Really?
If I can, yeah,
There's going to be some coverage.
yeah,
Yeah.
elbow.
Like Austin Powers putting all these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Hmm.
That's fascinating.
Hmm.
If I can help it.
I'm married to a woman.
Present.
And I from day one, I've never.
First time you met.
First time, I was clanging and banging, swanging and banging, and I've never tried to cover up.
Maybe I gotta work on that.
Maybe it's me. What about you guys out there? Do you cover
No,
up?
I'm the weird one.
Yeah.
Being naked, that's just not a
Are
big
you
deal.
ashamed?
Thank you.
We should probably all take our clothes off now.
Yeah. I'll tell the next lady that my friend told me not to be ashamed.
Well, you take your clothes off, and then when she's right, you just go look at it. You look at it. Look at this. Demand to get over your fear.
Right. I have to be very aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. You turn her head. You look at her.
I'd be like, you will be okay with this. I'll make you cereal.
You know how hard this is for me?
I'm not at full form.
Yeah. All right. They don't. That doesn't matter. That's fine. Just let us see. Come on. Let's see in your most natural state.
Maybe I'll work on that.
Comic handling. Oh God, this is a serious question. Hope you're
Ooh.
ready for this one.
Boy.
This is a philosophical question.
Oh boy.
Comic handlings asks, speaking of in the mood for love, what constitutes cheating to you when you're in a relationship?
Great question.
Sean, if Devon drunkenly made... Let me try that again. Sean, if Devon drunkenly made out with a girlfriend, a cliche, I know, is that cheating? Devon, if Sean said someone else's name during the deed, is he cheating? Cyrus.
Hey, the 3-pointer.
Cyrus, if your lady went to a nudist beach with her guy friends, is that cheating? Sound off, he says.
I'm about to sound off.
All right. Well, you were asked first.
What, if you drunkenly made out with a woman?
Yes.
Do you know what? That's a really interesting and very difficult question to answer.
Yes.
Because...
The answer is yes.
Because... part of me would want to be accepting of it because it's so cliche, right? I was drunk. We just decided to do it. We're friends. We decided to mess around. But if Devon kissing someone else to me is like a betrayal. I don't care if it's a girlfriend. It's at the end of the day a betrayal. Though is she drunk enough to not know what she was doing? There's you have to assess the situation. But ultimately, I think kissing. There's probably guys out there going, "Bro, if she kissed someone else, that would be fucking awesome." That's fair. That's your thing. If you think that's cool, that's fine. There's no problem there. I don't know. I just don't want them doing that with anyone. Just like, yeah, I wouldn't kiss any of my guy friends. If maybe Cyrus.
Dang it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would really have to assess the situation. But my immediate reaction would definitely be, "Oh, I don't like this." But would I be forgiving? Maybe. But I would struggle. I think it would hurt me.
Okay.
Even if it was a one-off thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Can I piggyback off that real quick?
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend in college
Mhm.
who we would go out. It's only happened maybe once or twice that I was aware. And she got
Peppered.
inebriated.
Mhm.
And she'd smooch her girlfriends like in front of me. And I was like, nah, don't like that one bit. Don't like that one bit.
See?
I talked to her about it.
Oh, yeah?
I was like,
You said, look at me. Look at
I
this.
said, look at it! This is gone.
No.
All you're getting from now on is boners. You're not getting,
You had a talk.
I had a talk. I told her how I felt, and I really felt that way. She's like, I
stop
won't.
doing it?
Yeah. I was like, listen, dude, I was much. My mind was better back then. It was simple times.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel uncomfortable when you make out with people in front of me. I mean, that's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting
Yeah.
it.
And she was like, initially she was defensive, but then I think she was like, oh, well, that's a good point.
Got a question for you. What if she made out with someone, you weren't there, but she told you about it afterwards?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
It wasn't, they weren't like, it was just like smooching.
Oh, nothing wrong
But
with
still, I
smooching.
was like, you don't have to.
Oh, no, you don't have to
smooch me.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin, what if I said someone else's name while we were doing the deed?
Not
I
okay.
went, Bethany!
Gross.
What if I said it just like that?
Yeah. Violence.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
You okay?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Violence.
Violence.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question to you then, 2 questions.
Okay.
1, would you immediately think I was cheating on you?
Yes.
And 2, you answered that by answering the first one. Okay, no, you answered it. You answered it.
Yes.
Okay.
See, I don't know how serious she's being, because responding with one word, which is violence,
Oh, I think she'd hurt me.
is kind of humorous.
Yeah. Oh
There would
no,
be
I think genuinely.
there
she-
would be a m- there
would
would
be
be there would be
Or milkshake.
there would be upset. There would be definitely like tears and upset. And but at some point, whether he was present or not, whether you were still in my presence or not, I don't know. But there would be a shift, and I would shift to anger,
What about if I said Cyrus's name?
confusion.
Because that might just be a common mistake. Because I say Cyrus a lot. I'm always working with him. I'm always
No,
chatting with him.
no, no.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, no. There would most certainly be confusion, and yeah, there would be a discussion.
So here's my question to you then.
Yeah.
If when I was drinking a long time ago,
Mhm.
you found out if I made out with one of my guy friends. I mean, Cyrus is my only friend, so I'd have to make out with Cyrus. Would you be upset?
We would have to have a talk about it.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah.
There'd be talking and
Yeah,
there'd be,
I would. I don't know if I would be upset, but I would be like, but we'd have to talk about it.
It's also a lot less cliche for a guy to make out with his guy friend. Like
Yeah.
women tend to do it like a buddy thing. Men
and
do not do that.
Yeah.
right, and I don't. Yeah, there would have to be a discussion.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Cyrus,
What's the equivalent of two gals smooching? What would two guys be?
What's a cliche?
'Cause it's
dude-
not
what's
making
a
out.
cliche dude bro thing?
well,
You know what I mean?
There's
Is there one?
Maybe just like very complimentary or something. Dude, you're so
yes,
you're great. You're really good at.
That's it. And also, like when we
Which is
go,
like fine.
we could get too oversharing. Be like, dude, you're so handsome.
That's what it is.
When you get
Dude, you put yourself down too much, man. You can do anything you set your mind to, man.
If I was a girl, I would go for you, man.
That's it. That's exactly correct. That's the answer.
That's really
Oh my
Two girls
God.
making out is the same as two straight men going, dude, if I was a girl, I would totally be your girlfriend.
Cyrus, if your girlfriend
Oh,
went to a nudist beach
With her guy friend.
with her guy friends,
Insanity.
That
is
is
that
insanity.
cheating?
That is
Hey,
insanity.
Cyrus, how's it going? I'm being my girlfriend right now. Hey, babe.
Nice.
How's it going? She's like, just so you know, I was thinking, since I don't know, it's a long weekend because of the holiday. I don't fucking know.
Right.
And because you're visiting your parents, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna go with 3 guy friends I have and get naked on a beach and we'll look at their ding-a-ling swing, like a what's that song? Din swing, na 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 na.
I only know let your chain down low. Does it swing to and fro? That one.
You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I ask something on top of that?
Sure.
What if their girlfriends came? The guy's girlfriends came.
Mm-mm.
So there's
That
6
makes
of
it
them.
much better.
There's 6 of them. There's 3 guys. No, there's 5 of them.
That's just an
2
orgy waiting to
girls.
happen.
2 girls and their boyfriends and your girl. Just go in there.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. Besides the fact that she wants to do that, let's say it even happens.
I feel like we should adding in the girlfriends. I feel like it makes it more complicated because why on earth would you? If we were going, so if Cyrus was dating someone and we're like, hey, let's all go on vacation together. Hey, let's all go to a nude beach. For one, you don't want Cyrus seeing me. I don't want to see Cyrus, and I don't want
think
you
you don't.
seeing Cyrus.
You think you don't?
Cyrus's
do.
girlfriend. So why on earth would any group of friends go to a nude beach?
You're gonna let her talk to me like
see
that?
each other?
She just said she didn't want to see me in the nude
I
in my house.
used to have a friend. He's not my friend. Sadly, he moved away. We would still be buddies, but he moved away. Who went to a nude beach with his buddies and his wife and their girls, and they all dropped it, and they all were
No
were
they-
together. No,
No
they
thanks.
just went.
Sucking down some sody pops.
No,
They were just all comfortable and
Yep.
loosey. And
they
yeah,
just all did.
I am not.
So my question to
So
you
no
then,
thank
and
you.
this is separate from cheating, if we went on vacation together, just me and you, to a tropical paradise,
Mhm.
and there was a nude beach there, and I went, I'm going for it. I'm getting fully nude. Would you let me do it around a bunch of strangers?
Yes.
That's completely
Would.
completely
That's
different.
a different
What if Cyrus is
scenario.
in the bushes with binoculars?
I'm like,
That's
finally.
That's a different scenario.
Yeah, okay, I'm just checking.
I like that you said tropical destination. Someone's like, hey man, did you get into anything this week? You go anywhere? I went to a tropical destination.
It's a tropical paradise.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
So you would say that absolutely not.
And it's deeper than that. Because the way her brain is going is like, yeah, what's wrong with me getting naked with dudes I know?
Yeah.
Away from my boyfriend?
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's cheating. I just think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Sure.
I don't think she's like, oh, I get to see these balls.
That was great. Bring that character back. You see these balls?
I don't think she's doing that, but I do think it's fucked up. I don't
It's a
think
very-
it's normal.
I'm changing the voice you did, but it's like a very high pitched New York
It
man
was
who loves
it was interesting.
male genitalia.
No, I think about this a lot, right? I think about this a lot. Not a lot. I thought about it a lot. That if we went to a nude beach with some of our friends and you said, I wanted to go topless, I don't know if it would bother me.
So I
Good,
don't
do
know
it.
if that would bother me.
I don't know if it would. Do you
I
know
don't know.
why? I'm very confident in Devon being with me, and I'm very confident in Devon's body and her comfort level with her body. So I don't know if it would bother me that much. I don't know.
Caw.
What's that, an hour and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll wrap up in a second. Yeah, I don't know if it would bother me that much.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, the downstairs has to stay covered. The upstairs,
Yeah. There you go.
That's an interesting one. I know we got to wrap soon, but
Rama, I'm going to ask you a question next time. I appreciate it, but it's going to be a long discussion, so I'm going to have to ask it next time. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Amok Pal asks a very simple question. What was the last thing... Oh, what was the last thing you were... Fuck me. What was the last thing you were willing to die on a hill for that you changed your mind about?
oh.
women's rights.
Anything you changed your mind
Joking.
about recently?
Recently, not really. What about you?
My most recent one was, if you would have asked me, I don't even know, it's not even that recent, but if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said Twitter is the worst thing in the world and no one should be on Twitter and it's a cesspool and it's bollocks. You look at me every day, I'm like, tweet, just going, I look like, honestly, I'm on it all the time now. So I think not too long ago, I would have said it was complete bullshit.
Yeah, social media in general. Initially, so yeah, not recently. But initially, I was very much like, meh. Like I still don't have. I don't do TikTok. I don't do Snapchat.
Never
It's
do TikTok.
literally, it's Instagram is the only thing I actually post things on. I do have a Twitter account, but I just look at Twitter. I don't do anything on it. But I'm on there a lot, like upsettingly so recently I've noticed. But I use it now as a distraction for my thoughts, for my own spiraling thoughts, or if I'm stressed or upset, instead of me focusing on what's upsetting me or what's stressing me out, I'll focus on that because it's just an endless cycle of things. So that's what I use social media as a distraction, which isn't healthy at all. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I've done a full.
So yeah, I've done a big time 180 on social media.
I do 180 on movies all the time as well. I always rate films. The Old Guard, perfect example. I rate it 1 star, then I watch it, I'm like, oh, that was really good.
You do that a lot, and I don't know where your head is with
I do.
certain movies. Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about this. You go into Sean will do this thing for some movies where he goes in with a particular expectation, or and if that expectation isn't met, then he's like, this is shit.
Yeah.
But then after
It'll be a very specific expectation.
Right.
Films probably can't even match.
Right. And then after some time, when he goes to revisit it and he enjoys it, and he's like, what was my problem before?
I do
And I was just like, I have no idea because you're crazy.
You're like, there are no Ninja Turtles in the new Star Wars
Exactly.
movie.
It's pretty much that bad. I do. Like, especially with the action films, I'm like, oh, the fights better be this. And if they're not that, I'm like, this is garbage. When Old Guard first came out, I was like, these fights are fucking awful. Because I was expecting something. I watched it recently, I was like, oh, the fights are fucking bomb. But yeah, I don't know. I have very, I don't know. I'm very strange.
Yeah.
I'm very strange. I've done it with so many films lately. It's ridiculous. I did it with Chungking Express, a Wong Kar Wai film. I watched it. I fucking hated it. I watched it recently and it blew my socks off.
What's next?
Sorry, so you died on a hill and changed your mind about anything?
Not so much died on a hill, but as I'm getting older, I don't want to get too political or deep or anything, but I'm
Gays?
gays are cool now.
Okay.
I was
On the fence about him.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you used to like gays and now you hate them.
you reversed it. I'm finding that I am a liberal man. Peace and equality and rights and everything that's good is good. But I'm finding I'm a little less liberal than I maybe thought.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
And in my brain, all these sirens are going off and going, "You're the devil! Liberals, that's the way to go, you idiot!" And that's how I always thought. But then when you meet a real 10 out of 10, 100% liberal, you go, whoa, 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 that's crazy. Chill with that.
That's interesting.
I'm like, chill a little bit with that. So apparently,
is there a particular topic that you find that you're not as liberal as others on? Or is that going into dangerous territory now?
No, it's not dangerous territory. I just want everyone to be happy with everything.
That's
but
nice.
certain things, I just go, well, that's a little much. I guess that's all.
That's fine.
I like everybody. Please be happy.
Next episode, we will talk about what Cyrus thinks is a little too much. We had a whole bunch of other questions. I'm so sorry that we're not going to get to answer them. We want to keep this kind of an hour and a half-ish, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Now, just to let you know that if you are a fan of this podcast, guess what? You can like this video. You can subscribe to us. You can do all that juicy stuff. Give us a review. Share it with your friends. Comment. We read all comments and we reply to... Well, not we. I do. I respond to all comments. So if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below.
Like us, please.
Like us. By the way, likes really, really help. So just letting you know, I know that's corny. I know every YouTuber in the world says it. Likes really do help.
Oh,
It
yeah,
helps.
and you should join our Patreon.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Along
read a list
with...
of our patrons. Oh, am
You're
I?
not.
Hell yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Fucking.
Those gorgeous people.
Check out these two.
That's fucking-
Professional.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta
That's
find
right.
my fucking patrons now.
Yeah, you read them off.
I'm not a liberal anymore. Let me get my gun.
Evan just looks at me and goes, violence.
Fast.
Do
She
you
said
need
fast.
I have a note on
lined
my
up.
phone that's just called Devon's Size Guide.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that's about, Cyrus?
It can be misinterpreted.
Yeah. What do you think it's about?
Size guide.
Mm-hmm.
I know Devin likes furniture.
Okay.
Anything to do with that?
No.
Size guide.
I can't find our patrons.
No, I got nothing.
Oh, there they are. It's basically Devon's sizes in case I want to buy her something.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
She gave me a list of all her sizes. 12 inches.
You can't find them?
I've got them.
Oh, you got them?
Just gave you a ruler.
That's right. She goes, that's my guy. No, never mind. Never mind. All right, our beautiful patrons. There's a few of them. I'm going to go through them. We really, really like these people a lot.
Yes.
They are our favorites.
We like them
That's
a
right.
lot.
Yes.
And
Right.
if you're on this list, we'll like you too.
Yeah, if you want to hop on this list, patreon.com/food for thought.
Yes.
Miles, Alpha Rookie, Nick, Shane, Nicholas, Amok Pal, Rama, Disconnected, Tristan, Robert, Art School Dropouts, Eloquent, James, Don Jitsu, Tina, who's Sky Verval, and Benjamin.
Woo woo!
Our beautiful patrons.
Our beautiful patron.
Why don't you join them and stop being a fucking knobhead?
There it is. Can you splice that into the beginning?
In the beginning. Yeah. No, we really, really thank them. They give us a few dollars each month, and it helps to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
That's what every podcast says. And yeah, what it helps us do is it helps me buy Blu-rays,
Right, that's about it. No.
which I use for this channel, and we review the films that I buy Blu-rays.
And on occasion, if we need equipment.
How many Blu-rays am I getting?
You are a long time ago. I let you borrow Kill Bill on Blu-ray, and you've never given it back.
Really?
Yeah, you never gave it back. So you're never. Yeah, honestly,
Like a long time ago.
about 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay, it might be over there.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it might be over there.
In fact,
In fact, I might be.
in fact,
I think I think I see it. I think I see it right there.
it might not even be on Blu-ray. It might be on DVD.
It's
I
DVD.
think it's 100% a
So
DVD.
that's why Cyrus doesn't get any because
Right.
he doesn't give them back. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, next episode. I just want to say what our next episode is.
Yo, real quick. One day, maybe we should start a Cyrus and Devon tier where we split the money 50-50.
Oh, all the money for that tier you split?
Let's say it's like $10 or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Fine. Dinner tonight was $40 a head.
Well, I just promoted you, so
You didn't do anything.
I had a lot.
Pardon?
I did a lot to get you promoted. Who do you think put you forth for that promotion?
Not someone else.
It was me, baby boy. Me the whole way.
Hmm.
I put that little worm in my boss's ear.
All right. Well, that
It's
doesn't make me feel great.
That's honestly.
It makes me feel great that you did that because you care about me.
I didn't do it because I care about you.
Well, I don't care about you
I
then.
do it because you did a fucking great job. I swear to God, that's exactly why I did it. Because I'm not going to get into it.
I'm really good at
The last
I'm
year,
good at
you
what
fucking killed it, and you
good
deserve
at
a
what
promotion.
really
polite.
You're very good at
and
your job.
thorough.
Anyway, our patrons voted for our next episode, and I'm very excited for it. It's a Donnie Yen film, and it's called Tiger Cage 2.
All right.
We don't have to have seen Tiger Cage 1. We're safe.
Cool.
What was that?
I said yumma yumma yumma.
Yeah. You're going to have to rent that one, so you're actually
Great.
going to
I 100% have lost money doing this podcast. Period.
You actually
The money I've
about $16.
like 50.
You think?
At least
I mean,
at
the
least
years that
renting
we've been
something.
doing this, renting
Do you
movies.
know what? Maybe I do need to give you some patron money. Maybe I'll break you off some.
Interesting.
Maybe I'll give you a stipend every month.
Jeez, I'm gonna.
I'll give you $10 a month.
You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? Violence.
Right. Tiger Cage 2 is our next episode. Really looking forward to that one. It's an interesting film. Plenty of fights in that one. And until then, I don't know how to wrap up a podcast. Someone else wrap it up.
We are going to catch you next time, baby.